Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel where skincare is all about progression over perfection because perfection doesn't exist. So I always get asked my opinions about products and if I've tried them before and what I thought and all that kind of stuff. And what I thought would be interesting to do is to go through what Sephora, Ulta and Cult Beauty have to offer as far as their best sellers and kind of tell you what I think about them, because the majority of questions I get asked are about some of these top selling, best selling products. So for my US subscribers, I'm going to be looking at like 6 products from Sephora and kind of like 4-ish from Ulta. And then for the rest of the world, we have some of the top sellers from Cult Beauty. But all these products are all available pretty much worldwide on any website. These will be all products that I have used before, not necessarily reviewed on this channel either, but please do remember that these are my own personal experiences and, you know, whether I think they're worth it or not. So if you want to try them, just try them. But hopefully this will help guide you into what I think is maybe a little bit overhyped, kind of caught up in the viral skincare product world, and what I think is actually probably worth the money. So I had to get Shark, what is it, Shark VPN, because here in the UK we don't have Sephora, and if you try and go on the Sephora website, it takes you to the French version. So I had to get Shark VPN, not a sponsor, I just found a discount code and I don't really know what a VPN is. And it took me to the Sephora website, so I've got 6 of the best sellers here, so let's go through them. So I want to start off with this one. This is the Glow Recipe Plum Plump Hyaluronic Acid Moisturizer. The other day I realized that I have not talked about this moisturizer, I think, at all, because I was testing it for so long. They sent me a lab sample and I absolutely loved it. And in my video, I talked about this lab sample and how much I enjoyed it. But when it launched, I was like, I've already used it. Like, I've been using it for a long time that I pretty much forgot to review it. But of course, this is a hyaluronic acid based moisturizer. And what I love about this so much in typical Glow Recipe fashion is it leaves you with that glow, that very natural looking glow. Not only does this keep you hydrated like whilst you continue to use it and help your skin retain its hydration, but it makes your skin look like quenched is that's a horrible word. It makes your skin look like it's been like force-fed liters and liters of water. Your skin looks healthy from the very first application. Whilst that may only be like a temporary thing, with extended use, it looks so nice. It's really nice. It's that typical gel cream kind of texture where it feels like it should be a thicker, heavier moisturizer, but it's just watery and gelled like, you know? This actually contains polyglutamic acid to help lock in moisture, and it really does just give you the nicest, bounciest skin. I absolutely love this. For me, the price is worth it. Obviously that depends on what you feel is affordable, what isn't, and you get the refills with this as well. Let's move on to the Inkey Omega Water Cream Moisturizer. This is another one that I had and I feel is kind of like an alternative to the Glow Recipe one. It's not as good, I'll be honest, it's not as good. Actually, the Omega Water Cream is Rovectin Lotus Water Cream in my opinion. Maybe the Inkey one is a little bit more hydrating. You kind of feel that it feels deeper somehow. It was a little bit too light for me as someone with like combination skin. In the morning I felt like the moisturizer was completely gone. I didn't feel like hydrated or dewy or bouncy or anything like that, but as a morning moisturizer I really enjoyed it. It was just maybe a little bit too light for me, but at $9.99, why the fuck would you not get this? Like, why would you not try this? It's such an amazing affordable dupe of so many water cream type moisturizers that makes for me a perfect morning moisturizer. But yeah, I love it. It's the Inkey List. Like, all their products are usually worth the price because the prices are so affordable. But then you do have the added bonus of the omegas in here. So you have omega 3, 6 and 9, and this basically helps with the elasticity in the skin and helps prevent that water loss as well. So it does have a nice little added bonus, but I just feel like the hydration, the long-term hydration wasn't there for me. Let's move on to the First Aid Beauty KP Bump Eraser Body Scrub with 10% AHA. I was gifted this like 5 times. I don't know who they use to send out their PR, but I literally got like 2 in one pack, 2 in another, and then one just arrived in an envelope on its own. I was like, why am I being sent so many? If you're in the UK, you can buy both the Omega Water Cream and Glow Recipe from Cult Beauty. You can buy the First Aid Beauty KP Bump Eraser Body Scrub from look fantastic. So this is a combination of physical and chemical exfoliant. So of course we have the 10% AHA in here. So we have glycolic acid, we have lactic acid. We also have willow bark extract, which is usually used as like a gentler alternative to a BHA. I quite like that as a BHA for my skin. Colloidal oatmeal as well, which is nice and soothing on the skin, maybe in there to kind of counter out the scrubbing that you're doing. This has pumice in it. But for me, this didn't do as well as the Peach and Lily KP body scrub that I absolutely love and I saw a really good difference with. To be honest, this for me was it just felt like a normal scrub, like a body scrub. I wasn't massively impressed. I didn't see many results in as quick a time as I did with Peach and Lily's body scrub, but that seems to be a running theme with Peach and Lily, is that their results, the befores and afters, seem to happen quite relatively quick. Whereas the First Aid Beauty one, I was a bit like, oh, okay, it's a good scrub. It's a fine scrub that must be doing something, you know? It did feel a little bit harsher on my skin. It did feel a little bit, it wasn't painful, it wasn't ripping through me, but it felt like a little bit sandy, and I didn't really enjoy it. I get very sensitive top arms here, and for me, it was just a little bit too scrubby in that way. Again, it's a really reasonable dupe of the Peach and Lily one, so by all means go ahead and use it. But for me, I'd just use like a sugar scrub because I find that the sugar scrubs, when mixed with water, the sugar kind of like dilutes down, isn't as harsh, or, you know, something that doesn't feel as scratchy for me. Moving on to the Caudalie Instant Detox Mask. I hate this product, not because it's bad, but it was all over TikTok and people are like, it's pulling out my pores, it's pulling out gunk from my pores. I even had like a back and forth with an esthetician. Like, who am I to argue with an esthetician? But they said that clay pulls out rubbish from your pores, which it doesn't. And they're like, I think I know what I'm talking about. And I like linked them to like articles and like papers, and Lab Muffin Michelle's article that explains why it doesn't. And they're like, oh, well, that's just how I like to describe it. I'm like, you can't, on the internet nowadays, you can't just say things. You can't just say things without accuracy because people believe it and take it literally, you know? Boys in a video, yay! But all in all, it's a really, really nice clay mask. That's all it is. That doesn't feel drying on the skin. You have a few actives in there, which when left on the skin can work really, really nicely. For me, it's just an overpriced, overhyped, not worthy of going viral clay mask. Not worthy of going viral clay mask because it is just a really fancy, in my opinion, overpriced clay mask. If you want a clay mask that's not going to dry you out, don't buy one. What's that brand? I think it's Ozy or something. I'll put it here. That do a really nice clay mask. Brie, it's not dinner time. You got half an hour. That's a really nice clay mask that doesn't dry you out, really affordable as well. And to be honest with you, just use a vitamin C serum. There's not massively any different or benefits from it being in a clay mask, you know? And people in these viral videos were kind of showing like all the holes in their nose where the clay mask was like apparently pulling out oils. It's just because you've got big pores and there was oil sitting in it and that mask is exaggerating it. That's all it was. So I have kind of like, now whenever I see this brand, I'm like, oh, I don't want to see it anymore. Talking about that clay mask I recommended, actually, the Fenty Skin Cookies and Clean Whipped Clay detox face mask with salicylic acid looks to me, judging from all their socials, like it has the same kind of texture. It's that bouncy whipped clay mask texture that again doesn't fully dry down on the skin and doesn't leave you look like dry and dehydrated. For me personally, I'm not going to buy this because cookies and cream makes me feel sick. I don't like it. It looks like it's got bacteria in it. I don't like it. The word detox is always a trigger for me when it comes to skincare, and it's got salicylic acid in, which is actually quite nice. I think it's the Glow Recipe one that has PHA in it. I think it might have a few more exfoliants, and I actually enjoy that mask. So going back to the Caudalie one, vitamin C is quite nice, but I do kind of like to separate my actives from a clay mask. I don't really enjoy the combination of those, to be honest with you. I find that this is a really weird one from Fenty Skin because this this feels very, very Colourpop to me. I don't know how to explain it. Very elf, very Fenty Skin had a sophistication to it, and it's kind of nice to have like this sophisticated but really accessible, affordable brand. And then they're like cookies and clean. It's a bit like, oh, it feels a bit off-brand to me. I did mention at the beginning of the video that these are all products that I've used before. I haven't used this one, so I just wanted to add it in to let you know. Speaking of salicylic acid, the Peace Out Salicylic Acid Acne Healing Dots are a favourite of mine. Do I think the addition of salicylic acid really does anything for my spots? No, I don't think think so. I think that would be the toners and the serums with salicylic acid in that I use. It's a nice addition, but to be honest with you, I do feel like they just work like any kind of acne dot, but they are very, very good. What I really like about the Peace Out ones is that they stay on the skin really firm, they stick there. A lot of these you can't use over the top of a moisturizer because they tend to slide around, but these ones I find you absolutely can. You shouldn't really, but if you forget and then you're like, oh crap, I got a spot, let me put a dot on it, you can use these absolutely fine. Peace Out are like the original people who brought out the hydrocolloid patches. You know, people are now using ones from like drugstores that are meant to be for like wound healing and all that kind of stuff. This brand were the original ones to make them like shaped for your nose and for your forehead, and they work so well. The nose patches are my absolute favorite, but yeah, these are really, really good, affordable patches.
Fine, I'm coming, we'll do your dinner now.
I'm gonna feed Brie and then we're gonna move on to Ulta. Okay, I'm back. Let's take a look at Ulta. I was surprised because I thought Ulta was, I don't know where I got it from, but I thought Ulta was meant to be like a more affordable Sephora. Anyway, the first product I want to look at is the glycolic acid 7% exfoliating toning solution. This is $10 and you know The Ordinary is always going to be a bargain. The sheer amount, the sheer volume of AHA product even that you get in this tub, what is this? Like a squeezy tube? I don't know. It's worth every cent, every penny, wherever you get it from, Cult Beauty, Ulta, I think The Ordinary's at Sephora, it's always worth the money. This is a very, very nice basic exfoliating solution. It's 7%, which is, usually you get AHAs which are like 5 to 7%, so kind of normal. So of course we know AHAs helps even out skin tone and texture. It's also quite hydrating as well, it can help you retain moisture. One thing I didn't notice is actually, on the website it says that the formula contains Tasmanian pepperberry derivative to help reduce irritation associated with acid use. I've never heard of that before. But it also has ginseng root and aloe vera to help with the radiance and soothing benefits. So I find that really interesting. I always think people think The Ordinary, including myself, obviously, it's just the core basics of what a product needs to be. But this is a really, really nice toner. I actually personally use this under my armpits. I don't use a lot of AHA on my skin because I am rosacea prone and AHAs can flare me up. But I use this as a deodorant pretty much daily. And I've not smelled like BO for like a month since I've been using it. I really, really enjoy this. Moving on to the First Aid Beauty Hello Fab Coconut Water Cream. This is $36. And again, I don't have anything against First Aid Beauty, but I feel like this is really steep for what it is. Again, this is Ulta or Look Fantastic here in the UK. In the links below, I'll put UK and US links. Right, the description of this product: a lightweight, quick absorbing moisturizer that infuses skin with electrolytes, amino acids, and phytonutrients to revitalize and refresh. Harnessing the powers of coconut water and sodium hyaluronate, the rejuvenating cream delivers long-lasting moisture and hydration whilst recharging dull, lackluster skin to promote smooth, plump appearance. The brand's innovative antioxidant booster defends against environmental aggressors for healthy skin, looking skin without greasy residue. I didn't feel greasy because I didn't feel anything when I use this at all. It says long-lasting hydration. I put this on, it disappeared. I felt drier after I used it than I did when I first used it. It really wasn't good for me. And it was quick absorbing, but it just didn't do anything. I feel like people expect a hydrating moisturizer, by people I mean me, to kind of like not just give you the hydration that you can't see on your skin, but you also want to now, as a cosmetic product, you want to feel that hydration in your skin and you want some kind of glowy payoff from that. You know, not like my kind of glow where people are like, you just look greasy, but like a nice healthy looking glow. If I woke up with dehydrated skin, put this over the top, it might hydrate my skin, but it wouldn't look like it. I still feel like my skin looked really dull after using this. I personally do not think it's worth my $36. Again, I'll just go with the Omega Water Cream. If you've got a bit more cash to spend, the Glow Recipe one. Speaking of cash, so this is Strivectin. This is their multi-action Super C retinol brightening and correcting serum. This is $72. But I would say it was worth it. I really, really liked this. It's like an oily serum. I haven't bought it again because it's $72 and I was initially gifted this. My skin looked so good when I was using this. My pores looked like minuscule. My skin had a really nice even tone to it. It looked like hydrated and plump and dewy and just really, really cared for. Like I had a really solid routine, but I really do put it down to just consistent use of this product. This was probably the last retinol I used before deciding that I don't think retinol alone really worked well on my skin. So you obviously have the brightening evening complexionness of vitamin C, while the retinol smooths rough texture and fine lines and all that kind of stuff. And they use something called Acerola cherry extract to restore clarity and brighten dull, tired skin. The only issue is this does have a lot of fragrance in, and I'm not saying that because I don't like fragrance, but the smell was very like one of those personal scents where it smelled like I was smelling somebody else's fragrance, their perfume. It's a bit too pinpoint and particular, but my skin looked really good. It looked really good. It ticked every point that this serum claimed it did, if that makes sense, just for a very high price point. On Boots I think it's like £46, but it's so expensive, but really good. I really, really enjoyed this. This is one of the only retinols where I was like, for someone without many fine lines and wrinkles, before I started getting Botox, I was like, I'm actually seeing this retinol do something to my skin. And as far as vitamin C goes, I usually don't like it, but I was seeing the benefits of that vitamin C. I loved this so much. Do I buy it again? I think I'm gonna have to. Okay, so e.l.f. Cosmetics Holy Hydration Makeup Melting Cleansing Balm. For $11, this is fine. It's a very generic, run-of-the-mill cleansing balm. I don't know why you'd want a cleansing balm to be really hydrating. This isn't. I believe it's just in the same look and packaging as their Holy Hydration line. It is a very standard, think Banilico cleansing balm. That's all it is, but it's good. It does the job it needs to do for $11. Why not? It's very good. I literally have nothing to say about it because it's very standard in a fine way. It's fine. It's good. Buy it if you want. Okay, next we have the Estee Lauder Advanced Night Repair Synchronized Multi-Recovery Serum. Recovery Complex Serum for $50 to $105. I was gifted this, and to be honest with you, at the time, I didn't know what it was supposed to do. I only used it because I saw it all over TikTok. Didn't like Taylor Swift use it or something? And I don't know. There was a K-pop singer that was using it at the time, and I was sold. This is essentially sold as a beauty sleep in a pipette. You know, it's like meant to do everything from evening out your skin tone, softening fine lines, plumping your skin. They say encouraging a radiant complexion, an award-winning serum effortlessly sinks in the skin to help soften, smooth, promote even-looking skin tone. And to be honest with you, I don't know if I needed it at the time. I'm not being funny, but I have a good solid skincare routine. My skin never really looks dull unless I've done something wrong to it. I use plumping stuff. I now get filler and Botox. At the time I didn't. But I think I was disappointed with it because I was like, I don't think I needed to use it. And honestly, I can't tell whether it's worth it or not. I feel like you don't need to spend that amount of money on a serum that is like a good all over. Good moisturizers are going to hydrate and moisturize. Good exfoliants and actives are going to help your skin tone look even and all that kind of stuff. I feel like you don't need a daily serum at that price to do it. Daily serum, sure, a nightly serum, yeah, but at that price point, I don't think so. I just think it's like a fancy serum, more of an elixir, you know, that stood the test of time and people just want to use it because of the name and pretty much how iconic it is. For me personally, I don't think it's worth the money. Next up, however, is the Laneige Waterbank Blue Hyaluronic Revitalizing Toner at $31. I really like this. This has what they call blue hyaluronic acid in, which from what I can gather, all it does is soothe the skin and get deeper into the skin and moisturize. This is at Ulta, of course, in America, but you can get it on Beauty Bay here in the UK, and it's $23 in the UK. But they're also saying that the blue hyaluronic acid can help strengthen your skin barrier, which I can't say much of yet. I've only been using it for about 3 weeks. But as far as hydration and bring that plumpness and alive look back to your skin, it's really, really good. Just do the usual spritz of water, pat over the skin morning and night, and it's a really, really good pick-me-up. I love the packaging. The smell, again, it's a little bit too much of a signature fragrance for me, but as far as a good hydrating toner goes, It's really, really nice. There are more affordable ones, to be fair. I think like this reminds a lot of the Claire's. That purple one, what's it called? I can't read it from here. I haven't got like glasses or anything. The unscented toner, soothing toner. I don't know. It's that same kind of texture, that same kind of rich, deep hydration. I think you get that for a lot less. But there is something about the Laneige one that just feels like thick, like a drink for your skin, and I absolutely love it. Let's move on to my UK friends. Let's go to Cult Beauty. The Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask, in my opinion, isn't worth it. I don't like it, but I know everyone absolutely loves this one, especially in the strawberry scent. It's like an icon within the K-beauty world and within the skincare world in general now. For me, it doesn't do anything. For me, it's just like putting like a thick Vaseline on your skin and you wake up and your lips are still dry. It just wasn't for me. I much prefer the Clavu sleeping mask. Laneige do a new sleeping mask, which I'll put here. I completely forgot what it's called, which is amazing. So good. It's really, really nice. And it feels similar to this in texture, but somehow softer. And I do think that that is worth the money. 21 euros. I don't know what that is in pounds, sorry. I think it's a little steep. You do get a lot. If you like this, you get a lot for your money. The Kate Somerville Goat Milk Moisturizing Cleanser. I love this cleanser so much. I love it so much. So goat milk is meant to be kind of like soothing, but this also contains manuka honey and avocado and jojoba oils, giving you this really nice moisturized, nourished feeling to the skin. And then you got your proteins in the goat milk, which is meant to help kind of like soothe irritated skin. This is just a really nice, rich, foamy cleanser that doesn't strip the skin. Again, it leaves your skin feeling really, really untouched. If you have the money for Kate Somerville, I would pretty much like 98% of the time say just go for it and just do it, because the products are really, really good. This is £38 and it's very steep for a cleanser. You do get a lot. You need the tiniest amount, and it really, really does work well with even the most ruined, sensitive of skin. I've been there so many times, and this and the Milk Vegan, is it just called the Vegan Cleanser? The Hyram cleanser and the Make cleanser are all kind of like really nice, safe ones for me to use when my skin is shot to shit, like, because they're just so gentle and work really, really well. If you got the 40 quid or $40 to spend on Kate Somerville, I would do it. I would go for it. You're not going to be disappointed. The Ultraviolet Queen Screen Lightweight Skin Screen. Ultraviolet Queen Screen Lightweight Skin Screen SPF 50 Plus by Ultraviolet. I initially loved this one. It's one of those serum sunscreens that comes in a dropper, which at first I was against, but I found the dropper actually helped me measure out my sunscreen a lot easier. So once I knew how many drops was a sufficient amount, it's easier just to use those drops. Went over the skin, didn't sting my eyes, wasn't too greasy, too heavy, too oily. It had a little scent of rose, and I'm not the biggest rose fan. For some reason I like it in like perfumes and fragrances, but when it comes to my skincare, it's got that real like dusty rose kind of smell that I don't like. I didn't use this for about a week after using it every day for about a week. I came back to it and it smelt like hot trash. It was putrid. It was like, it just stunk. I didn't leave the lid open or anything like that. I think my brother said the same, that he had the same one, and it smelled really bad after a while. It's like that rose smell just kind of takes over, but it's like rose with gone off milk. It just smells so bad, and I've not wanted to buy another one to see if that's a continuous issue. So do let me know down below. On that note, I would say it's not worth the money. If it didn't do that, I would say if you have the money to spend on it, then definitely do. But there are some other amazing sunscreens that are cheaper than this, just as good as this, and in the same kind of delivery system. I think the Zit Sticker one is a bit more affordable than this. Also, Hello Sunday do an amazing serum sunscreen, which works so well. Same kind of texture, doesn't sting, doesn't stink of roses. So really, actually, no, I feel like sunscreen should be a lot cheaper than this. I don't see a reasoning for this to be so expensive when it comes to the usage and its customer experience of this. I think you can save your money there. Bioma is a brand that I really enjoy. I've been using their cleanser and their mist pretty much religiously. However, Their moisturizing gel cream was a real miss for me. I'll say right now, for $11.99 from Cult Beauty, you get a good amount of product for a very decent moisturizer. And this brand really is all about restoring the skin barrier, bringing it back to life. It's all ceramide based kind of products, as well as niacinamide, and you have green tea in here as well. So brightening, antioxidant, soothing. It all sounds really good. It all sounds really, really nice. My only issue with this is for a gel cream moisturizer, the whole idea, they have a thicker moisturizer, but the whole idea of this type of gel cream moisturizer is that it's meant to moisturize without the greasiness or oiliness or the stickiness of a normal moisturizer. So I applied this at night when I first went to try it, thinking it'll be fine for my oily skin. Got into bed, I felt like it still wasn't rubbed in. I was trying to rub it in all the time, and it just felt like it was gliding across my face. I then got tired, tried to go to sleep, but I could feel my face stuck to my pillow. It felt like there was this layer between my skin and the pillow, and it was sticking, and I could actually see my pillowcase like lift up with the product. So I had to go back to the bathroom and wipe this off with some micellar water, and then I actually used that other moisturizer absolutely fine. But for me, it's not a good product. I think for my oily skin, it just didn't suit at all. All their products are at a really good price point. If you want a good, solid skin barrier repairing routine, go for their brand. It's great. But this moisturizer for me just literally didn't do anything because it couldn't get into my skin. That's what it felt like, you know? So I wouldn't say this is worth the money, but I get why it's popular because I feel like it's the whole brand as a whole has received a lot of hype. Cult Beauty, I look so disheveled, like I've been through so much filming this video. So there you go. Sephora, Ulta, and Cult Beauty. Bestsellers and top rated products. Of course, there are many more that I didn't try, that I didn't talk about in this video, but let me know if you want to see more of this, whether you think it's interesting or not. Leave that in the comments below, but you can watch some more product reviews here and some general light entertainment here, and I will see you over there.